the West Highland Way. In this part 2 video, we trek from the town of Tyndrum into the truly picturesque parts of the Scottish Highlands. We stopped at the Bridge of Orchy, Kingshouse, Kinlochleven, and finishing up the trek at Fort William, all along the way providing you with reviews and tips. This trek was completed at the end of May, and we used a luggage transfer service for our heavier backpacks. If you missed part 1, be sure to go back and watch it, since it's packed full of daily reviews and tips from Melgave to Tyndrum. And finally, if you want to watch the majestic West Highland Way set to music without my commentary, you can view that video here. Now that we've built the anticipation up enough, let's dive on in.
Day 5, and we are officially in the Highlands. We got a shorter day today, hopefully, with 6.5 to 7 miles. We're about 10 minutes in, 15 minutes in, and already surrounded by beauty. More to come. One thing I have to constantly be reminding myself on this trek is to just stop and look up. It's so easy to focus on where you're walking, as you should, and be careful, but don't get sucked into looking down and we're at the trail, but stop and just enjoy the scenery. Look up, look around you, take it all in. You're not in a rush to go anywhere. So along the trek for the past 4.5 days now, I keep catching a whiff of what smells like coconut. I keep thinking maybe it's someone's sunscreen, but no, turns out it's this flower. Yeah, definitely smells like coconut. One of the tips that we've already shared was to stop and look up and enjoy your scenery, but another one is to also take a minute and turn around and look behind you, because you never know what you're missing. The scenes that you just walked through could be just as beautiful, if not completely changed from when you walked through it going the other direction. Highlands and the sheep, or the sheep of the Highlands. Came across a pretty cute craft fair here in the Bridge of Orchy. We picked up our first souvenir, which is a handmade wood-carved pizza cutter from antique wood. So it had other things, other crafts, knitwork, pastries. Pretty cute.
We're seeing shadows on the wall.
Wrapping up day 5 on the West Highland Way. We trekked for about 3 hours today, racking up about another 6.5-7 miles. Landing at Bridge of Orchy, and it was a pretty nice walk. Very even-keeled flatness for the most part. Probably the best trail we've seen so far. Very wide, plenty of room for Matt and I to walk next to each other, which was great. We had perfect weather. I wore just mostly this all day. We did have some breeze in the beginning, which was kind of cool but nice at the same time. But I think the highlight of the day was being surrounded by the highlands itself. We spent most of the majority of the walk today just surrounded by hills and pastures and of course sheep. But the scenery today was probably the best we've seen so far. The hotel that we're staying at tonight is right over my shoulder, so I'm kind of excited to just kind of relax the rest of the evening and see what tomorrow brings. Good morning from day 6 on the trek. Last night we stayed at probably the most expensive, if not the most expensive hotel on the trek, the Bridge of Orchy Hotel, which was about 2 to 3 times more expensive than the other hotels we stayed at. But it was nice, beautiful hotel. Wi-Fi was a little iffy, but it worked. And now we're starting off the day. Very beautiful weather, sun is shining. We're in the middle of a forestry management project, so a lot of trees are down right now, but looking forward to the rest of the day. We are about an hour into our walk, which should have taken us an hour 15, so we're ahead of schedule. And we were just passing through a cute little settlement in Varanen. So it's got a cute little bed and breakfast, a bar, really cute outdoor space to sit and eat if you want. So we're gonna keep on trucking.
Won't rest until I make it right. Couldn't stand the thought of losing her before time had come. Like a storm outraged that night. In the dark I came undone.
We've been walking along this great trek, and we just came out of the forest for a while. Nice cool break from the sun. And out of the forest and into the hills, guys. We are surrounded, and it's fantastic. as we made a turn during our lovely little trek, we noticed something white up on the top of a hill. I'm like, that can't be snow. But the more we got, the more we walked, the more piles we saw, and it definitely looks like there's still some remaining snow up atop. The last remnants of winter.
In the distance were the warning bells, but I knew that you weren't caving yet.
We've really enjoyed along this trek, and the other treks that we've done is seeing familiar faces every morning and every night. The first few days there was the similar faces at the hotels and at dinner and at breakfast in the morning and passing back and forth along the trek. Unfortunately, I think because we had a shorter day yesterday, we're now seeing new faces, which is also could be fun.
I know you're all I have. So blue, blue, like a rose in a riverbed.
We've definitely made some progress, if you can't tell, but there is the trail back behind those trees, in between those big 2 sets of trees. That's where the trail is. That's where we came from. I'm tired. Day 6 in the books.
In the books.
Oof. My feet know it and feel it. So we went from the Bridge of Orchy. We did ask, and it's pronounced Orchy, to Kingshouse today. Took us about 5 hours.
Yep.
We did take a break, about 20-30 minutes to have a little fruit loaf. How do you feel? Yeah?
Highlands were amazing.
Everywhere. We did
almost the entire day. Picturesque.
There was a little bit of climb in the morning, leaving Bridge of Orchy, but then once we got through some forest in the climb, it was just rolling highlands, as far as the eye can see. You can see your progress, you can see the trail, which was wide.
Yeah.
It was pretty spacious, more rocky. So I guess take caution with that. There was like mixture of small and then big rocks.
Yeah, and yesterday and today there was a good maybe half the section where we had no cell phone service.
Yeah.
If you need cell phone service, you're not going to have it. It was about a mile longer than it said online and in the book, so it was 13 miles, not 12.
But it was a closer discrepancy than it was early on.
Yeah.
So, but bear that in mind. It took us about 5 hours, and that doesn't include the half-hour break that we took. So it's about 1:30 when we rolled in here, and we left around 8 this morning. Weather was perfect. We couldn't ask for better weather today. Sunshine the whole way. Definitely had to reapply sunscreen. Yeah, I think that the graph on our trekking guidebook made me a little bit more nervous than I had to be. That climb this morning wasn't terrible.
Yeah.
It took us maybe like the first half hour or so, and then it kind of ebbed and flowed up and down a little bit. But it wasn't anything that I was cursing the world with.
We're in the Highlands now.
There's no doubt about it.
No doubt about it.
Yeah.
Everything looks picturesque, basically every direction you look.
We're staying in the bunkhouse at the Kingshouse
hotel tonight. My first experience in a bunkhouse.
Saw a couple deer.
Real close up. We saw
And then some in the distance.
Yeah. We saw a bunch more herds of cow. Not up close though.
No, pretty far away.
Still missing that hairy cow. I haven't seen it.
Nope.
Lots of birds chirping. Lots of traffic.
We were pretty far away from the road today, so it was really nice to get out in the nature. And
Yes, definitely one of the more remote parts of the trek so far.
Yep.
Was yesterday and today, for sure. Yeah.
All right.
Day 7 coming soon. It's day 7 and we're up early for the sunrise. It's about 4:45 a.m. It's already pretty bright out. Hoping for a show because I'm tired. Now that I'm a little bit more awake after the sunrise this morning, we are over an hour in at this point and about to hit the Devil's Staircase, but we took a little side trail across the road to this very majestic cottage with the view to take some photos and stop and talk for a minute. Just an update. We slept okay in the bunkhouse. It was definitely tight quarters, but it was comfortable. The cell phone service was a little better than it was yesterday. EE was better than the 3. The weather seems to be perfect. We lost the ponchos out of the backpack, so hopefully no surprise rain. And yeah, just enjoying the views before we start the notable Devil's Staircase.
Slow pace. If it was for me, there'd be no pace. Life would be a star.
We just finished the Devil's Staircase. It took me about 30 minutes. Took Manny a little less. He was trucking, that's for sure. We got to take a little bit of a break and enjoy the panoramic views that's this lovely place has to offer, and had a little snack. And now we start the descent, and with all new mountain range to enjoy.
Frozen and deceptive life. Frozen in. If I could tell this earth to stop spinning. If I could persuade a life to be simple as my simple life, glowing through like rye on fire, motionless and petrified, frozen in deceptive light, but still pulsing silent. Still pulsing silent. Still pulsing silent. Simply as my mind.
Okay, so making your way down from Devil's Staircase back to the town of Kinlochleven, just note that there's very little shade. So if it's a warm, sunny day, prepare yourself, have plenty of water, bring a hat if you need it, wear it. We are just now reached our first shade and we're about 20 minutes outside town, so be prepared.
Say to me, I own every single part of you. I own every single part of you.
Day 7 complete.
1 day to go, and we are Highlanders or something.
Resembling Highlanders.
Yes.
We made it from Kingshouse this morning to Kinlochleven. That sounds about right. Yeah, we conquered the Devil's Staircase today.
Yep. About 4 miles until we reached it, and there's a picturesque little white house that was very majestic looking. I'm sure it's playing right now in the video.
Right in the background of a great big hills, right across the street from the start of Devil's Staircase.
And then we started to climb it. Probably about halfway through, you lose cell phone signal, and then you probably don't have any until maybe like 2 hours until the very end. So you don't really have too much cell phone service the majority of the middle section of the day, if you're looking for that.
Yeah. It took us about a half hour to climb the Devil's Staircase.
Half hour to climb, yep.
Matt did it a little bit quicker.
It was a very warm day.
Yes.
Not typical.
Lots of
very
sun.
sunny. Too sunny. We drank a lot of water, almost all of our water. That was the first time we almost ran out of water.
It's true.
And there was no small drinking fountain setups along the trail that we frequently had seen earlier in the trails.
There was no way we could have refilled anything today. The trail was still, this was the more narrow day, I think, at the beginning of the trail. So we really couldn't walk side by side too much of it.
Very narrow, especially coming down the opposite end after the stair.
Yes, be mindful. I definitely slipped a couple times, or rock surfing as we've been calling it. It did get wide at the bottom though, like once you, probably the last hour or so, it was more of like a gravel road that we walked into the town. I'm definitely feeling tired, definitely feeling like we're reaching the end of this, which is tomorrow. I think the miles we said was
9.6 miles.
And the book, our trekking book, guidebook said 8.9. So not a huge discrepancy.
Pretty close.
But it was pretty close.
This town here is very quaint.
Yes.
It's, every house seems to be the same style, white and red trim around the top. Same style roofing.
Yeah, it's definitely got that quaint little village feel to it. Our hotel is really cute too, the pub, and we have a nice room. It's got a beautiful terrace. Wi-Fi again seems to be a little bit hit or miss.
Yeah, yesterday's Wi-Fi was the best in the whole trail, and today's doesn't work at all. So
plan ahead for that.
Yeah.
We haven't run out of sunblock, which is great. We've probably been applying twice a day to 3 times a day. Obviously 3 times today with the sunshine, and we haven't run out, so that's good. We also only bought 1 bottle of the smidge, and we haven't run out of that yet, and we've been applying that once a day, if not twice.
And they weren't bad at all today.
No. We did the 9 miles in just about 4 hours. That's what the book said it would take too. And I think the Devil's Staircase wasn't as bad as people, or the name makes it out.
It wasn't too bad.
No, just take your time.
It was like the other hill. What was it?
Kinlochleven.
Kinlochleven.
It was very similar. It probably just quicker, honestly. The switchbacks were a little bit steeper, but you're pretty much the same height.
You got 1 day to go.
It's going to be a doozy. 16 miles?
16 supposedly miles. We'll figure it out tomorrow.
Fingers crossed. We do this.
Boom.
Last day. Can I get a woo? It's our last day on the trek. We're about an hour in. And it looks like it's gonna be probably the best, most scenic day, long day, but scenic day. We had a bit of a climb right off the bat, 300 meters or so, but now we're just surrounded by beauty, just incredible beauty. So here we go.
When we were younger, when we were younger, I had in mind to keep an eye on you. Watch you fill the room without a whisper. When we were younger, and I held my breath, and like it was my last one, but you stared it right in front of us. You stared it right in front of us. When we were younger, we'd sit around to see your point of view. Watch you give an inch and take the moment there. When we were younger, and still I had my breath, and like it was my last one, but you stared it right in front of us.
Incredible. We are now up high, way high, surrounded by majestic highlands of Scotland. And we can see our trek for the foreseeable future. It's gonna be a great day.
This before, it reminds me what I've been missing here. Every memory, evermore, it reminding what I've been missing here. When I saw you for the first time.
So right above my shoulder up here is Devil's Ridge, and just beyond that we should start getting some bigger glimpses of hopefully Ben Nevis. But if you're looking for some more adventure on top of the adventure that is this 16-mile day, we're noticing some other side treks that you can take on top, the trails that lead to on top some other ridges nearby. As we keep trekking and are serenaded by the lovely sounds of the sheep, we come across this ruin, just in the middle of nowhere. It's pretty cool.
I know I felt like this before. It reminds me what I've been missing. Every memory, evermore, here reminding what I've been missing. Oh, you are what I've been missing. I knew it all. When I saw you for the first time. When I saw you for the first time. Redeem the day I watched it all go up in flames. A heavy heaving inside is all this heart can give is a reply. I'm buried here below, beneath.
This last part of the trek is the longest part of the trek without fresh water. There is plenty of streams coming through, so feel free to use that, but make sure you have some sort of filtration device, whether it's the tablets or a self-filtering water bottle.
Well, I run to stay in the fight, just a glimmer of the very life of me. Now I see from the start I was never alone. Here by my side till forevermore.
This has got to be one of the best views so far on the trek. Definitely worth us taking a good half-hour lunch break right here and just taking it all in.
And the ground below is falling before my eyes. Will I run to stay in the fight? Just a glimmer of light I find when I keep hoping. And I know now how much mighty your hand in mine comes reaching the sun.
Well, there it is. The mighty Ben Nevis. Hopefully.
I was never alone. Here by my side till forever.
Gotta stay hydrated. Beer water.
I was never alone. Here by my side till forevermore.
Well, my watch just buzzed, meaning we hit 5 hours on today's trek. And we have Glen Nevis in sight. Ben Nevis in sight. So we are so close to being finished with this trek. Whew. It's been a journey. Today has been long. It's been very warm. I'm a little sunburned on my back of my neck. We've had sunshine, which is great. We had a great snack/lunch break on a beautiful hill. The trail has been up and down between, I think it's been a mixture of everything so far. Like we've had the narrow, climby trails, we've had the wide, gravelly, rocky trails, and right now we're on basically a gravel road. So kind of the culmination of the entire trek in one day as far as the trail goes. I would have to say that today was also probably the best scenery of the entire trek so far. Like we were just surrounded by the highlands. It was gorgeous everywhere you turned. It was really hard to pay attention to where I was walking because I just kept wanting to look up. But we're working our way into town and it's, fingers crossed, still all downhill from here. No more climbing.
You're a galaxy of stars.
Cell phone service today, leaving Kinlochleven on the 3 and the EE networks. We had pretty good service for the first hour, and then nothing. No service for the next couple hours, and then we regained service about 90 minutes outside town.
I see you.
Taking this trek has showed us, honestly, some of what Scotland truly has to offer. It was a really great way to see this part of the country. Given more time, we probably would have gone other areas too, but just being able to spend these last 8 days trekking really gave us a unique version and vision of what the highlands truly look like and the countryside.
Even when I close my eyes, I feel you breathe next to me.
I'm in disbelief! Did we do this? It's the original end?